What is going on, guys? Josh here. Today we're going to talk about Bitcoin. If you haven't seen already, it's breaking out to new all-time highs. Price actions at $3,300 at the time of this recording. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the charts and see where this thing could go, and look at a few different possible scenarios. And then we'll talk about what I'm going to do with my holdings. And then we're also talking about if I think it's if you can get in still or if it's too late. So let's jump on the chart and take a look at this.
All right, guys, so here we are. Take a look at this chart, man. It's already at, well, it was at 33.40. Now it's at 3,200. It's pulled back a little bit, but it's incredible. So we finally broke out. We've been consolidating for a while in this range of like $2,400 to 29. We did have a false break to the downside, but it bounced nicely, and then it pulled back again, and now it's breaking the recent all-time highs. So it was consolidating for what, like 3 months now. So it's a nice break, and as you can tell, this thing has definitely is going exponential on us. So what I plan on doing is I've been scaling out of my position just because I've held it for so long, and on big pullbacks I do add some more back to it. But I definitely don't want to get caught trying to time the top or anything like that. So the best thing that I found that works for me, I apply the same principles that I do when I trade stocks. Bitcoin's a little different; it is a little bit more volatile, but some of the same principles apply, and that is I just scale out of my position, or if I'm not in something and I want to take advantage of the move, I just scale in. So that brings up a good point. Let's say that you're not in Bitcoin and you don't want to miss out on this tremendous run. Then there's a few different strategies. Now I definitely wouldn't take this advice as a strategy for yourself. I don't recommend investing in anything unless you understand what it is. And but for myself, if I were not in this and I'm like, man, I really want to take advantage of this, then I would just scale into the position. So I would, for example, let's say that right now you are like, oh, I want to buy right now. I have X amount to spend, whatever that is, 1K, 5K, $100, whatever. You definitely don't want to go all in right now. What you would do is you would scale in. So what do I mean by that? So let's say that amount that you initially thought that you wanted to buy, let's just use $1,000 for example. You would look at the price action and you would say, okay, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know about these charts or anything. Then you would only use a small portion of the total that you would buy initially and buy with that portion. So let's say 10%, right? So you would only spend $100. You would buy some now. Right? Now, that's if you don't know anything about what's going on. If you do have some idea of support and resistance and things like that, then you still want to scale in. You definitely don't want to go all in because, we've seen many times on stocks in general, even on Bitcoin, you can have false breaks, like here to the downside. I bet you a lot of people shorted this thing thinking, this is it, bubble's popping, and no, it bounced. It held a previous support zone. So you definitely, on breakouts, I've seen throwbacks, and a throwback means that it's going to break out, and then it'll throw back to the initial breakout zone, and if it holds, then we're solid, and it'll continue to go up after it consolidates for a bit. But I've also seen the other opposite happen, where it comes back down, and then it actually breaks below, because it's a false break. You can't, no one knows. That's the thing. It's all about risk reward. It's a matter of how much am I going to risk, and how much is the potential gain. So now when you have a fresh breakout, like a blue sky breakout is called, then the potential gain can be huge. So I definitely wouldn't discourage you from buying. It's just you have to be careful because you could end up buying the top. So again, if I were not in Bitcoin at all and I really wanted to get in, I would just scale in. I would do 10, maybe 15% if I didn't know what I was doing. If I did know what I was doing, then maybe a little bit larger of a position. And the idea behind that is you would watch what it does. So let's say it does come back here to the previous resistance, which now should be support. Then and it bounces and then it starts to go back up. Then you could buy some more and do another 10, 15%. And that way you're minimizing your risk, because let's say that you bought all in here, right? And then it comes down, and then it breaks below this. That could be quite a large of a loss right there. So why risk that much? It's better to scale in, because now the probability of the price action continuing higher, if it comes down here and bounces up, the probability is much higher versus buying here, hoping this is going to continue to go up and up and up. Of course, it's possible, but all I'm saying is probabilities are lower for that type of action to happen. So, just be mindful that this is volatile and there's a lot of risk involved. But again, just have fun with it. Don't throw your life savings in this thing. If you don't know what you're doing, just definitely more than anything, have fun. And I would recommend scaling into the position. Let me know in the comments below, what price did you get in at? I bought my first Bitcoin at around $200. Of course, it would have been nice if I knew about it way before then. I actually heard about it, I think at around $90, but I just didn't take action. And finally, I did at 200. I just had some FOMO set in. But anyways, let me know what price you got in at Bitcoin if you're in it, and what you plan on doing with your position. I know some people, are hardcore holders. They'll never sell. That's fine too. But a profit on paper is just that. It's not a realized gain until you actually sell. So that's it for this video. My name is Josh. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I make a lot of videos on the businesses that I'm involved in, just general tips and tricks, and share my success, my failure, so that way people can copy what I do and hopefully realize their own success. Subscribe if you're new, and drop a comment below. Until next time, see ya.